Looks like we're in for a bit of a redo here today in the Tier 8 Japanese carrier, Shokaku. Last time I did a recording, looks like we were unfortunately muted, but it is what it is. We're on the map Crash Zone Alpha in 6 to 8 matchmaking, so we're top tier. Gonna be a fun one, and we're against a Grav Zeppelin. Only AA ships of note are, looks like the Cleveland and maybe the Leon if you consider that strong AA, but as a top tier carrier, I'm anticipating that we are going to brutalize these peasants. Sporting the new, or not new, sporting the Shokaku perma camo as we take off. That is Zuikaku, her sister ship's 1944 fit out, for any of you history nerds out there. Anyhow, just getting started. Gonna launch the rocket planes and see what we see. So there's 3 DDs to go after, Loyang, Akatsuki, and Gepard. 3 DDs, looks like 1 spawned at each cap, so I'm gonna look for the central cap's DD first. Now remember, the spawn locations are mirrored, for the most part. Grass Zepplin's kind of close, and we do find an Akatsuki, who has left his AA on. Now we're on the edge of the heavy ships behind us, or on the enemy team's spawn, so they'd clip us with some AA. However, we're going to slam the Akatsuki for a rather heavy 7k opening blow. His dual-purpose AA trying futilely to shoot down our planes, but we are a top-tier carrier. Looks like the enemy carrier did launch against my carrier hull by that aircraft shot down ribbon. No follow-up fire. That's fine. This is Naf guy, a Miyoko. He must have taken a big hit from someone. Probably while I was spotting. Doesn't seem to be the case. He seems a bit upset. I did cripple the Akatsuki there in my Shokaku, as you saw. I'm gonna go after this Nagado, who's quite separate from the pack, is susceptible to citadels, has rather middling AA. As my Leningrad goes down, Gepard torps embarrassingly enough. Sir, whoever you are, you should be ashamed. The Akatsuki is in the smoke. His AA is gonna clip some of my dive bombers, but not all of them. Does Nagado have his AA off? Or does he just not have AA, relatively speaking? Not a perfect drop there, as you saw. The approach angle was a bit off. I'm gonna pop my engine cooling consumable just to get better mileage. Initiate the drop. Probably a little forward, but we'll see. Yep, a little too forward. But as you can see, the Nagato still is quite far from his allies. I'm gonna move my carrier hull down. Looks like we're gonna be controlling the southern side, while the enemy has put the bulk of their forces to the north. I've used yet another one of my DDs. So this game's gonna be a struggle. Dropping a fighter. Probably should have dropped it back here though. And I am gonna get spotted by the torpedo bombers. Which, given the proximity of the enemy ships, it's gonna be a bit of a hassle. I'm gonna continue to focus down the Nagado nevertheless though. Though it is kind of tempting to switch onto the Leon. I'm gonna alter my course entirely. Clipping the edge of the Leon's AA aura. Someone has set the Nagato on fire. Gonna pop a heal here just to make sure I have maximum endurance. And there's the Graf Zeppelin up north. Looking to get maybe 8 drops off here in terms of torpedoes. Oh, okay, so we're going to be interdicted by a fighter. So it looks like we're going to have to leave off at 6. Not great, not terrible. The fighter has now locked. I'm going to see if I can't squeeze these two back home. The fighter's trailing quite a bit behind us, so. With that said, the Nagato is pretty crippled. Hopefully someone shoots him and finishes him off. I would like to move on to this Miyoko. Looks like there's shells out towards him. I would imagine so. It's pretty hard to pass up a kill like that. They're shooting at him, certainly. He's dropped to 1k. Enemy destroyer in front, but I'm here for the Miyoko. I brought the AP dive bombers. He's launching his fighter, correctly identifying that I am after him. Gonna start initiating my drop well outside, because I need to flatten out my shells here. One citadel. His fighters have locked, so since they've already locked, no point running. Just come in for the last strike. Looks like it's just gonna be a single bomb. That's fine. Make sure I line this up correctly. There we go. Nice clean 2 citadels over the 2 strikes. The enemies, that is the Nagato, did get clipped off. However, my team continues to fold in spite of our cap control. So because of that, we're going to leave the Miyoko for the moment. Provide some air cover for this cluster and attack North New Mexico because he is the closest applicable target. Actually, that Leon is pretty close as well and a bit lower. Aiming a bit blind, but I can aim by minimap. Looks like my first strike is going to be at an odd angle. Pop my heal. Pretty clean. It's not ideal to leave targets like this, especially battleships, but the Miyoko's not going to heal, so. Looks like I will get that last follow-up strike. I hope I hit that. Good. Then I can spend this on the Miyoko, who's gladly turning out for us, apparently. Well, that's not the Miyoko. I'm not the brightest. There are ships in our cap, so I'm going to interrupt the cap somewhat. Go after the Gepard with my rocket planes. My allies are melting as we speak. No one is shooting the Gepard for some reason. Leaving me to travel at him blind. He slips into the smoke. Yet another one of my allies bites the dust. This game's getting more difficult by the second. Whoa. Couldn't quite get that skimming hit. We're trying our best, but my allies are biting it quite quickly. Not being the brightest, perhaps. Oh, looks like we're going to do a chain drop. So, you see this path on the minimap? That's New Mexico into Tirpitz into Cleveland. Now notice that the Tirpitz did pop a fighter recently, but it's not going to stop us from chaining it in spite of that. Gonna be under some pretty heavy AA focus. Gonna try and heal tank my way through the fighter. Gonna have to skip the turrets because of the way in which I leveled out. Dish these behind. 2 hits onto the Cleveland. Hopefully my allies finish off the New Mexico. And then I can move on to the turrets. Since the Queen Elizabeth is the closest target to the enemy, even though he's getting harassed, I am going to drop in some fighters, looking for the Cleveland or the turrets to emerge from the smoke. Looks like he's going to turn out this way. At 3 kilometers, arm the drop. Begin circling around for another pass. Didn't quite get a perfect drop. But my allies are slamming him as well. Chasing, so arming at 2 kilometers instead. Looks like there's going to be 1 bomb, which splashes into the ocean. Not ideal. My Kiwi does die. Not many of my allies left. Nope, he gets cleaned up. Gonna go harass that Cleveland. I think I'm gonna need to go into the cap at this point. Now we have plenty of time, 8 minutes, but we don't have that much health. Looking for the Lo Yang. Doesn't matter what I go after really, I just need kills. I'll leave the Cleveland for now, go after this Pensacola. Pop my heal because he's trimming my planes off. That Miyoko I crippled earlier, giving me a bit of trouble. Good dodge. He's making an effort, certainly, to make it difficult for me. Gonna see if I can't surge past him. And launch torpedoes for the Cleveland instead. Now you saw the Cleveland did pop its defensive fire. I'm kind of running low on planes. 1 clip on the Cleveland. Which means my alpha of 22,000, give or take, is going to be enough to kill him now. He's maneuvering quite violently, but I have a full squadron here to commit. And I'm committing my hull to a vulnerable position. Alright, that didn't go very well. No matter. We'll use the full rocket planes. Pop the engine cooling consumable. Let's get into the fight. Dodge out on the flak. 3 kilometers. Arm the strike. Gonna need to be pretty lucky here. 1600 is pretty below average, he's quite saturated. I'm getting shelled by the Lo Yang, so I'm gonna hard stop my carrier. I'm gonna slow down the Pensacola like so, and then go after the Cleveland. I'm taking some fire. I kill the Pensacola because he takes a nose torp. to clip the Cleveland, and I'm gonna go finish him. He pops his defensive fire. Use what's left of my boost to get onto him. Full reverse. Now I want the low yang. Nice, now we can finish later easily. He's only just accelerating now. So I'm gonna keep him lit. My friend, you made a mistake. You had a fire earlier, so he's gonna flood. 167 health. Notice that his AA has almost no DPM against me. With that said, advance forward only. There's the flood hit. No, torpedo strike. Alright, no time to dick around actually. Gonna go for the knives now. Shit, I accidentally F'd out. Alright, that's really bad. That might cost us the game. The knife now is broadside though. Or the Graf Zeppelin. That's actually really bad. My carrier is not moving up to speed for some reason. Carrier's attacking me, which is good, somewhat. He's still reversing, which makes him an easy target. I'm gonna take some torpedo damage here, most likely. Wow, did they extend the range of the German 128mm AA gun? I feel like it's engaging me at 6 kilometers. If I get one clean strike, which I might get because he's just reversing, I'll kill him. I didn't kill him. I don't know how much damage I inflicted. 4k, so I'm gonna need to kill him with these torpedo bombers. Now the Graf Zeppelin is going after me with the AP dive bomber, so I myself am vulnerable. I only need to hit this guy with one torpedo though, so I'm gonna need to make sure it's a clean strike. Looks like I resisted whatever strike he sent after me. Either my carrier hull and the Leon's AA combined resisted the strike, or otherwise that's him dead. As long as I don't die to the knives now. There's my Kraken. Leave myself some fighter cover. We have 6 planes, that's enough to punch through a defense fighter. I also still have engine cooling consumable left, which I will make use of, certainly. Apparently I'm not part of my own team, which is interesting. Advance into C. I only have rocket planes and 5 torpedo bombs left, so I'm going to need to inflict some heavy damage with these rocket planes. Now we're catching up on points, but 55 seconds. I'm going to need a really good rocket strike here. Like, we're talking 15,000. 10,000 maybe? Gonna just use my engine cooling consumable. 27 seconds on the clock. If I can't get this kill, we lose. The Leon doesn't have time to fire anymore. I cannot screw up this drop. 10 seconds. My planes aren't fast enough. Oh, okay. I could have killed him, but didn't quite get there, so we almost clutched it there, but as you saw, we couldn't quite finalize. I needed to inflict damage with that dive bomb drop. But anyway, in spite of our close game, pretty good. 176,000 damage, 21 torpedoes struck, 12 dive bombs hit, 12 fighter planes shot down by my hull, sorry. Bit of a heart pounder. 7 caps, 5 kills, 1 fire, 3 floods, 7 citadels, 1 assisted capture, 39 rocket strikes, and 7 planes interdicted by fighter. Team score wise, nice 1980 on a loss. Pretty close to the Gepard score. Nicely done in the bottom tier Gepard. Sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. Pretty normal distribution for the Shokaku. 60,000 with bombs, 92,000 with torpedoes, and 22,000 with rockets. Not too much in the way of DAWs this time. Woo! What a game. But yeah, we tried our best. It was very close. If I had maybe 30 more seconds, I would definitely have killed him there. So, just that final dive bomb strike that I attempted on the Ground Zeppelin, I was unable to penetrate through the fighter screen, which trimmed 4 of my planes, which left 2 because it was a 6-plane squadron. And then after that, well, the 2 planes got chewed up by A, so I was unable to do it. But anyhow, still an enjoyable match. So there you have it. Tier 8 Shokaku on patch 0.8.71. Top tier. And top tier, she is the beast. Hope you enjoy. Cheers.